Hey y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning into the Dell Show. Um, Before I even introduce my guest, I'm gonna let some people come in while I chit chat because I just got a text from Bob Sumner.
No, no.
When I told him when he I invited, people
Yeah.
to join in
Yeah.
on the live, and he
Yes.
was like, tell her I said hello.
Hey, Bob. Hey. I got a funny story about. I got to tell you about Bob Sumner. Real quick when people get in.
Okay.
Mhm.
Actually, I'm gonna just go ahead and introduce you because
Oh,
this sits up on playback. Guys, first of all, if you're looking at this on playback, do me a favor and hit subscribe to my channel. I am with the lovely, the talented, but most importantly, the intelligent and outspoken social justice journalist, Lisa Durden, who I have known since the start of my career.
yep,
Um,
yep.
and Lisa, you have just done so amazing. I'm talking about, I'm sitting at home and I will just see you pop up on some kind of platform giving people the hardcore truth
The business girl.
or your
The
truth,
correct.
which
Sometimes
is
my truth, sometimes the truth.
yes, exactly.
Yes. Hmm.
Which most of the time is our truth, but I like to say your truth
Hmm.
just to spell it out.
Yes.
um but you know what, I was just sitting in here and I was just thinking, when I was, because you're one of the people, like, now keep in mind I used to do this show on StreamYard where I would have a couple of friends of mine join in and we kind of kick it to the top, but now I'm doing this format where we can literally just talk like friends and we can have clips and we can literally discuss some things. And honey, I had to study for you. I was like,
Oh,
I can't I can't just go here and I can't just go here on live and not be prepared when it
yes.
comes to you, because you are knowledgeable, you are savvy, and hey y'all, first of all, thank y'all so much for joining in. Do me a favor, put where you're from in the comments. I will shout you out. I'm talking right now to social justice journalist Lisa Durden. Lisa, let's jump right in, okay?
Okay.
Because Trump, you know, I don't know if that rings a sour bell
Girl.
off the break. It doesn't with me. Okay, here's the latest thing, and
Hmm.
I want to discuss it because he's thinking about going to Chicago with the National Guard. I just read a comment where he says, I really don't want to go unless I'm invited, unless a governor invites me. And when I think about a city like Chicago, to me, we face racism anyway, but what
Correct.
saddens me about
Correct.
Chicago is what's going on right there now is, the black men are taking other black men out. I mean, I have my cousin's son, another black man took him out a few years ago. This is a saddened mother. And this is a common story. So when I think about the guard coming in to a city like that, I mean, because what have we done so far that has worked? So what is your do you think that he should be going there, one, without a governor being asked, and why?
The first order of business is the National Guard are not police officers. The National Guard are not law enforcement officers.
Mm-hmm.
These individuals are military individuals
Mm-hmm.
who are there for attacks.
Okay.
They're not there to regulate civilians. That's number one. So they're not qualified for the job. Number two, let me just be real clear. Hey, Rodney. Hey,
Hey, Rodney.
let me be real clear
Okay.
because we're all friends up in here.
Yes.
While I understand what you're saying, that there are times where we hear these stories about somebody black took somebody black out. So that's in essence saying black on black crime. Let me just be
Yes.
real clear. There is no such thing as black on black crime. None. That's a non
Wait, well, no, no, but what do you
that's
mean by that?
that's a non sequitur, as they call it. So what that is that white people don't say white on white crime.
No.
We don't say Latino on Latino crime. We don't say Asian on Asian crime. But
Mm-hmm.
because guess what? That's a non sequitur. They want to add, well, white supremacy and the the uh the black racism that has been permeating through the United States of America. They want to create a narrative to make it seem like black people are dangerous. Let me just break it down for your viewers so that they know. Yes, in proximity to where you live and who you live with, we commit crimes against. So if I live in a black neighborhood, what's how likely is it for me to go from Newark, New Jersey to Livingston, New Jersey to shoot somebody in the head? I live in Newark. That's too far.
Okay.
So that means we, all human beings, commit crimes in proximity to who they live next to.
No,
Therefore, there,
absolutely.
therefore,
Mm-hmm.
white people typically kill white people or commit crimes against their own because they live next to each other. Black people do the same, and so on and so on. So, but for some reason, their numbers in the police department are not summing up to be white on white crime. White folks rob white folks, right? White folks rape white folks beat white folks bully white folks in their neighborhoods, trailer parks, and everywhere else. But they're not being touted as white on white crime. So there is no such thing as black on black crime. It's just called people commit crimes toward individuals who live near them. Any people, anywhere in the world.
Okay. I think where, and this is just my take on it, but I look at things spiritually. Black people lead the way when it comes to trends. So we make things viral, we make
Mhm.
terms up. And the reason why we have adopted black on black crime is because in our DNA, it is shameful that we will attack each other. So yes, we are aware that everyone commit, because the thing is, people commit crimes on their own kind because they can read their own kind better. So that is why an Asian will attack an Asian, a Latino will attack a Latino. But when we're discussing the higher rates, the reason why we continuously adopt and use black on black crime is because it does sadden us that it is us killing us.
But there are no higher rates of murders and crimes against blacks doing it to blacks than there are any people doing it against each other.
But
There's
we're not
more.
worried about it. We're not worried about those
No,
murder
no, but
rates.
no, it does. Here's the thing. It doesn't mean because no, two things could be correct at the same time, right? Just
Okay.
because white people kill each other and commit crimes toward each other just as much as blacks do it to each other, it doesn't mean we don't have to check ourselves. That's a separate lane,
Okay.
right? Now, I'm going to give another statistic, and I see you guys. Hey, hey. And he said, "Yes, ma'am." I'm saying,
Hey
Rodney,
everyone.
no,
Thank
no,
you, Jerome.
ma'am.
Thank you so
Jerome,
much for being
yes.
here.
Hi, King. Hi, Jerome. And that's not true. Yes, it is true. Now, not only do white people commit crimes against white people equal to blacks and other races, they commit more crimes to the world. So now whites also kill other people. White cops kill black people more than they kill white people. So white
Mm-hmm.
people are killing white people. White people are beating white people. White people are stealing from white people. White people are raping white people. And white people are raping Africans in Africa. White people are stealing all the nutrients, all the riches from Africa. White people robbed this country and killed all the Native Americans. White people enslaved black folks for 400 years. White people bombed uh, you know, uh, uh, I keep forgetting all the places. All the places when we were doing well, they bombed us and they killed us. White people are committing crimes against themselves and everybody. So why don't they call it white on everybody crime? They don't want to put
Okay.
those statistics out there.
We
White people are raping, killing, and pillaging. White people are stealing from blacks. Redlining is white on black crime. Why don't
eh,
we do white on black crime?
so
Redlining, poor education, stealing from us, stealing
okay.
our culture,
We
stealing our gold.
But wait a
bombing
minute,
our neighborhoods.
I think that every black person feels the exact same way with whites committing crimes. I'm
Against
saying when you,
everybody.
but when you mention the term black on black crime, we adopt that because I feel like it's a term of hurt. Like we're like, how dare we be doing it to each other when this other thing is like, look at all the stuff you said is happening, redlining, this, burning, this and that. So, but back to the question at hand,
Stealing
because
our
I want
music,
y'all to
stealing our
answer in the.
music. They stole our music. They make money on our music. They
But
stole
wait a
our
minute,
culture.
let me,
You know.
because the thing is too is I want to. First of all, I don't even know if we're gonna get to the other topics
Okay.
because Lisa, I'm gonna have to be having you back because you're so interesting to talk to even off camera. Like, you're just so intelligent, so knowledgeable. But like, I love what you represent, But the thing about it too is I use the term black on black crime
Right.
because I am a victim of it. I'm watching my cousin grieve over
Mm-hmm.
her son taking his daughter to the park, and another black male is coming by and
Mm-hmm.
mad that he lost the game, goes to his trunk and takes this brother out.
I understand.
So when it comes to the National Guard, and y'all put this in the comments too, when it comes to the National Guard going there, because I feel like we're having these, we're like, what is going to resolve the
But why
crime?
why don't why don't they send the National Guard to the White House where the man in the office is a
Has
34
doing all the
is
crime.
a 34 count felon. The man, he's a 34 count convicted felon.
Yes,
Send the National Guard to the White House. Why didn't they send the National Guard to the White House on January 6th in 2020 or 2021? Why don't they send the National Guard there now? Because
because they're
it
all
is.
on the same team. That's why they're
Okay, well
not
then,
sending it.
so my point is, you cannot talk about crime in some areas and not all. So I'm saying, if you're talking about crime, although you might be a victim of it specifically, but how about all those people who are not you and they are white who had crime committed against them in their neighborhoods? They're like you too. White women who got raped. How about the lady who he raped? How about all those people at January 6th they killed cops? So there are
Mm,
people just like you who are white in their communities where they are also victims of crime by the hands of their own people. So if you're gonna
mhm.
send the National Guard to help people in your community because you said you experienced that, then do it to the white neighborhoods. How about where Charles Manson grew up? He killed a lot of people. How about people who've been rolling through these neighborhoods, raping, killing, and pillaging people in the white community and other communities? So my question becomes, why is the National Guard good for some and not all? When there's crime, if you want to say, Mr. President, we're using the National Guard, I'd be okay with it if they were doing it equally across the board where there's crime,
You
including the
know,
White,
you
including the
know,
White House.
Stacy, thank you so much, Stacy, for joining us. She had a good point. She says
Mhm,
Baltimore comedian Reggie Carroll was just killed by another black man.
mhm.
Why is this? Uh AB says if you go back and look, you will see that families actually stay together. The black community was doing way better than the
Correct,
white. It wasn't until they started breaking up the black family
correct,
because it was never about crime, it was about getting rid of black people.
right,
Hey Jamal, thank you so much. Shout out Thomas. And I think
right.
this is where I come from. I come from the. I want to see more. I want to see less crime committed on black men. So when I see that the National Guard is going to go to this community, I immediately think of the loss that my family has experienced and wanting them to clean up the people that caused the loss. Now, this is not, oh, I want them to clean up all black people. Just thinking about so many losses of black males in that community. I don't have the same like I'm not looking like, why aren't you going to the I'm looking like, yes, please save black men. Please save black men. But I understand how somebody could be going to that community and now policing unfairly a community that has.
Not could be policing unfairly, are policing unfairly.
Okay, I mean, well, they're not
That's a
there
fact.
yet. So
That's a fact.
they're not there. Well, I mean, yes, policing unfairly, period. But I also too another thing too is I'm from a police family, so there's that. There.
Right.
But anyway,
Yep.
okay, guys, first of all, I just want to say this too. I am kicking it right now, having the most amazing discussion with my good friend from way back in the day, Lisa Durden, social justice journalist. If you guys aren't following her already, please go and follow Lisa Durden, y'all. And I just want to thank y'all so much for coming along with me with this journey, because Lisa, you see how clear in HD we look? That's how I gotta have my show look. I gotta have us.
When I see people like King Sex say show statistics, I don't have to show you statistics that we were enslaved. I don't have to show you what white slave patrols. I don't have to show you Jim Crow. I don't have to show you that they blew up, that the white man took Central Park from black people. I don't have to show you about redlining. I don't have to show you how they choked George Floyd and said he said he couldn't breathe, and the long laundry list, and the white man went into the black church in Carolina and shot people up. I don't have to show you about that white man that walked into that supermarket in New York, in upstate New York, and blew people away. I don't have to show you nothing. Just do a Google search. I don't have to show you how white people said separate but equal schools, and we didn't even have books that were current. I don't have to show you every single Karen that's talking about, oh, she looked at me and the cops come because Karen's crying. I don't have to show you that video of that black man in the park and that girl wanted the dog watcher, the bird watcher, and she was like, "Oh, she called the cops on him. He's hurting me. He didn't even touch her." I don't have to show you all the white on black crime that white people have done and continue to do to us. And if you're black and you need that, I need you to get a pair of glasses, and you can get them from Von Tail Eyewear, black company. That's all I'm trying to tell you. I don't have to show you
Okay,
nothing.
pause on that. First
Okay.
of all, AB, I see you out there, and I wanna, because AB is bringing up a point about the black slave owners. I come from Louisiana, where blacks did own slaves. Blacks owned Irish slaves. So. And not all, but I do want to acknowledge facts here, but also too, I want to switch subjects for a minute,
Black people
because
didn't own Irish slaves. That's incorrect.
no,
Black
yes,
people never owned Irish slaves. That's a lie. That's incorrect.
In
Black
Louisiana,
people
yes, they
never
do.
owned Irish slaves in this country ever. Black people are the only people in the United States of America that were enslaved in this way in the United States of America. Chattel slavery in the United States. We are the only race of people that has ever faced that. There have been places where we had indentured servitude, but in terms of slavery, the United States is the only place that had black people that were in chattel slavery. The only place. We never
In
had nobody white in chattel slavery, period. That not black folks, that's a lie. That's absolute lie.
Okay, the South were white, number of free blacks elsewhere did own enslaved people. Okay, it doesn't say they were Irish, but it does say black people did own enslaved people. So
Black people
I'm
never had a
correcting
system.
myself
Black
right here.
people
But
never had a system of chattel slavery in the United States of America. That's never happened.
okay, l- well, I've read some history books that it says the opposite. It says that black people owned slaves in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
So, and because I come from that and I studied Louisiana, I'm just, they weren't Irish, so I'm just correcting myself, but
Right.
they were slave owners. But I wasn't even getting off on to that.
Good. You go.
I was getting off onto the Smithsonian. Now, they want, white people, of course, are coming in the Smithsonian, and they're saying that, it's making our country look bad. And here's where I'm torn at, Lisa, and this is our next discussion. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm torn at about history is
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times, history, a child looking at subservience learns subservience. You learn, you see the things that people have done, and it is a underlying fear in you. So when they talk about taking certain history out the books, to me, I like the fact of teaching it ourselves to the children. rather than you teaching an incorrect version of it, or you teaching a very subservient, fearful version of it. Because, I think about the Black children that grow up and they never knew that their ancestors were owned by people. So they walk around with the same entitlement. They walk around and they have no fear, and they begin to get these things because they're not fearing. And if they come in contact with their own racism as they get older, then not if they,
Mhm.
people will come in contact with their own
Mhm.
racism. But
Mhm.
I think about the beginning of the playing field. So that's where I get torn on
Mhm.
the history being told, because of course when I went to the
Mhm.
Smithsonian, it's yeah, I think Jay-Z, I saw Jay-Z was a donor. I saw a couple people, but
Mhm.
it's a lot of non-black people that are donors
Mhm.
that keep a story the same. When this history that we had, we're more than, obviously we come from more than slaves, but
Mhm.
we're tribal people. So I just wanted to ask,
Mhm. Yep.
what your thought, do
Yep.
you think we need to be altering the Smithsonian's, altering the
Right.
Smithsonian, or adding to it, or taking away? What's your
Right.
thoughts on
Right.
that?
It's never a good time to alter facts. It's never a good time to change history. It's never a good time to cover up history. It's always the right time to speak truth to power. It's always the right time to have history. Now, here's what I need people to do. Parents should be parenting. Do I think I'm going to bring a 5-year-old to the Smithsonian and walk them through the whole Smithsonian to see some of those things where you see slave ships and people or other things that may not be age appropriate for somebody 5? Just like it's not age appropriate for somebody 5 to do calculus. They do that when they're in high school. So teach age appropriately. That's number one. Number two, I don't want we don't have certifications as teachers. Parents are not certified teachers. That's why we send them to school. They have a whole ass certification to teach your children. That's number two. And number three, without learning the negative history does not mean children are walking around thinking that they're the bomb.com because they saw Trayvon Martin get murdered by George Zimmerman. They're not walking around innocent. They see the actual murders of themselves as children. The little black boy in the with the play gun in the park, they shot him down dead in 5 seconds. No, these black kids don't need to go to the Smithsonian to see firsthand that they're not safe, to see firsthand they're not seen as children, to see firsthand that they can't walk around thinking they're the bomb.com because they see that they're not every day. Now, let's get to the Smithsonian. I've been there many times. They don't just have um, uh, history about negative things that have happened in this country. They
Mm-hmm.
have things that we've done celebratory. They have everything in there about black people. A lot of not everything. A lot of things in there that we've succeeded at. Despite the issues, they have our successes, what we've done, books we've written, things we've created, our inventions. All those things are in there as well, not just slavery. So the narrative is you go to the Smithsonian, all you see is slavery. No, you do not. You see lots of things of resilience and positivity that black people have achieved and have. We see the chronology from slavery till now and the things we've done. We have people like Oprah Winfrey in there in images of people like that. So we don't
Mm-hmm.
just see that. So no, I'm a journalist. You can't tell me that it's the right time to hide history. Just be just be a parent and take your children to the Smithsonian at the right age to see all the good, the bad, and the ugly. Not
Okay, and
don't bring a
now
2-year-old to see that.
let me Google real fast the year of history that the Smithsonian uh begins, because I
Well, I
have
think
been
that
to the Smithsonian too,
yeah.
and I feel like that's where the story is being told. It begins, with slavery. It's like this is where,
Mhm.
like you're not telling the full truth of where God's people come from. So if you don't know beyond the slavery, and also too, some of us were already here. Some of us were
Mhm.
already here when you got
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
We are the farmers, we are the
Right.
inventors. So
Right.
we've already built boats and come over here and had our own systems before you got here. So the I feel like if I saw all of these pieces,
Mm-hmm.
and then I saw the slavery, then I would be like, okay, but when you're starting there,
Mm-hmm.
it's that same thing I feel in a textbook where, like, like it's almost like you want us to know we weren't born until we were slaves, when actually we're chosen, and we were exiled. We have a long history, we
Mm-hmm.
have. So I feel like we're missing that. The Smithsonian is
Well, the
missing that in
Smithsonian
creating a narrative of
the
y'all
Smithsonian
come from
isn't the
slavery.
beginning and end of anything. We are
Hmm.
educated from age, I guess now we have preschool, and we didn't have preschool. So we're educated from preschool to adult life and all the way through. Some people go and get their master's. I got a master's at the age of 57. So you're always educating. It doesn't start there.
Congratulations.
Your education is a collective. So
Hmm.
if you're stupid enough, not you, but whoever, if you're stupid enough to go into the Smithsonian and think that's all there is, then will you sleep all these years? So I look at my life as a life of education. I look at my life as a life of learning. So I don't just wait for the Smithsonian to teach me one angle of something that they have, just like Thanksgiving dinner. If I come to your house for Thanksgiving dinner and you don't have a turkey, you just have turkey legs and wings, but I want a whole turkey and a body, I can't get mad at you because all you're offering, which happened to me, my boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, where's the whole turkey at? Well, they did. They just had the turkey parts. He wanted so they don't have the turkey at this house. Then you go to your house and buy a turkey and make a turkey. They had turkey wings. They had turkey legs. So that doesn't mean a turkey doesn't exist. Go buy a damn turkey. You know where it is. So if you want to know more, learn more. Extend your education. Don't be a slave in your mind to think, well, all there is what the Smithsonian said. That's a fool.
Yeah, see, and I'm just looking at the comments too. Jamal saying our history in Africa was more expensive, but in America you were a slave. And see, the thing is, that's part of it, but it's not all of it. Again, when slaves were brought here, black people was already here.
Right.
Black people had acquired land. In fact, they used to
Right.
refer to black people as the Native Americans, and then they switched the Native American term to
Mm-hmm.
Negro. They switched the black term to Negro and switched the you know Mexican Hispanic to the Native American. So the truth is constantly being distorted.
Correct.
But what the I think the bothersome part is, this is what other people learn and think. They don't go look it up. This is what they learn and think. They go to the Smithsonian and they're like, wow, those poor slaves. Then I also feel like, I'm, on the other hand, I'm not with you erasing it, because again, then
Correct.
when you erase
Right.
it, it's
Right.
just like reparation. But
Right.
it is not the whole truth, which
Right.
is, and I don't know if I want lies to be represented, because that's what's been represented the entire
Well, the
time.
fact that
Through
they don't have everything there doesn't make what's there a lie. That's incorrect, right? So if you want the totality and the sum total of a people, and you think everything's going to be in one building, then you're you're disappointing yourself, whoever you are. But it doesn't mean that what's in that building is a lie, right? That means you
hmm
would like it to be more expansive. So I'm with no, don't go in there and take things out, President Donald Trump. Expand, because to your point, bring more stuff in there, but what's in there is not a lie. Those things are factual. Those things are historical documents and things like that. But yes, to your point, is there stuff we can add to it? Absolutely. But to say what's there is wrong or a lie, that's not true. And for him to say let's take is bad enough. To your point, he you want more stuff there. He's gonna take stuff out. Get out of here, dude.
Jamal says, if I recall, the museum did give a history of Africa and then went into the Middle Passage, but the museum only has so much square footage.
Right. Thank you very much. I love you. Yes. So it's just like a human being. Now there are people who know you from the time you were 5 till now,
Yeah.
and they can tell people about you. Oh, when she was 12 and she was 30. But some people just met you a year ago and can say, I don't like that bitch because of this. They don't know the sum total of you. Now, it doesn't mean that day you weren't a bitch. You might have been a bitch that day, right? But it doesn't mean that everybody that you've interacted with, you were nasty to them or you were mean to them and you were not kind. That might be that one person's experience. That might even be true, but
Mm,
it's not the sum total of you. So if a
mm.
person wants to now hear from, oh, what girl, Dell Harris, she did this to me. Like this happens every day. I'm like, well, I don't know her like that, so let me just give her my shot. So if people are so not children, I'm saying adults. If adults are so ignorant where you want to land on the Smithsonian, then you go good night, then that means you are ignorant. That means you don't want to learn. I'm not going to go into the Smithsonian and go good night. That's all there is. Or I'm not going to go, oh, Dell Harris was mean to one person. That's who she is. No, if I want to engage a person, if I want to engage a culture, if I want to engage a gender or race or a collective, I want to really engage and then think for myself. The unfortunate thing is we don't have a lot of that today. We still feel like good night, and we want people to drag us through the world like we're like Geppetto with puppets. No, we can't do that because there are things missing. To your point, out of that could be in the Smithsonian. There are things missing in Lisa Durden as a person. I try to get every day, but I don't always nail it. But I try every day. But don't sit there and sum me up because of yesterday's situation and I got tomorrow.
I feel like, and that's where I'm so torn about
Right.
history erase, because the thing about it too is I remember reading it right in, I went to this, I forget what the museum, I think it was a newspaper museum in New York,
Hmm.
how enslaved the free black people was
Hmm.
freed in 1827
Hmm.
in New York, before, long before
Hmm.
slavery was ended.
Hmm.
But then of course the paper started programming the whites in New York so that they would treat the blacks me. So it's like, I have so many like things, that knowledge of incorrect facts, and this is what you train, because you train black people to be subservient with wrong information, but then you train white people to be downright devils, because this is what they're learning as that their ancestors have done. And I feel like
Right.
that's where I get torn, Lisa, is because if you remove that, then you remove those two evil spirits, and then you could just learn it on your own. And of course, people are evil. Period.
Right.
Yes, there will be
Right.
the Trayvon Martins, but there will be, to me, you you would now wouldn't have fear in that black child. So some of those people would be, I'm trying to say this without getting my live canceled and getting my channel
Right.
canceled, and without saying harmful content. But you understand what I'm saying is,
Right.
without that subservient history,
Hmm.
you would have a lot of brave, uh, armed, you know,
Well,
full fledged with the law black children coming up.
well, we can't call history. We can't now throw a judgment phrase on facts. There's no such thing as subservient history. It's just history.
Well,
You, there
I
was no,
don't
there was no
mean
such.
that the history is subservient. I mean the
No,
the
the
history
history
that is
was.
printed is training. It, to me,
Oh
it
no,
attempts
I get
to
what you're saying. Yeah,
train
right,
people to be
right, right.
subservient.
You're saying looking at that history can cause that. Gotcha. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I got what you're saying. Um, well, that could be anything, right? So
Mm.
if let's just do something very simple. We all watch television. Well, now we have phones, but whatever. You watch content on your phone. I still watch a linear television. And you see a bunch of McDonald's commercials all day, every day. Burger King, McDonald's. Is McDonald's at fault because I bought them burgers?
Mm.
McDonald's has the right to do a commercial. Liquor commercials, car commercials, McDonald's commercials. Is the car commercial at fault for me saying I want to get that Mercedes Benz and I don't pay my mortgage for 3 months and now I'm in foreclosure? No, they have the right. So the same way that I can look at anything and I can make a decision based on the thing I'm looking at, I got to look at myself. So the information that's being pushed out to you, whether it be uh, commercials on television or our history, if you yourself digest something and you become subservient, don't blame what's being what's being presented to you. Blame how you take it in. It's how you ingest that information. So I don't look at Burger King commercials and my mouth waters because I don't eat like that. So you can't push burgers in my mouth because I'm never going to eat them. You can't
Oh,
make Lisa eat a burger. I
no,
just
you
don't.
cannot make this Lisa Durden eat McDonald's.
Yes.
However, McDonald's has a team of marketing people,
Yes.
a
Hold that thought.
team of professionals who are specifically designing ads to make a child be like, I want McDonald's.
No, no,
And
no.
the
I'm not
programming
talking
is,
about children. I'm not. Yes, of
I'm
course
talking
I'm not. Yeah.
about people, the reason how people get programmed on it
No, no, no. Not you
is
said.
because they are advertising misinformation. You
No, no,
know,
no. You
they're
said you can't. When you say people and children, those are two different things. Let's make sure we separate them. I don't care
okay,
about children wanting burgers.
okay,
Yes,
but
children gonna want candy and burgers. I'm saying adults. Adults.
okay,
If
but
I had a child,
adults.
my child can't. If I had a child, you want that burger? Mommy said no.
Hold on, Jamal said, "Now I'm convicted. Wendy's got me today."
Oh,
Okay,
Wendy's.
hold
I
on,
forgot I like Wendy's.
hold on. This is what I want to say. First of all, if you're looking at this on live, thank you so much for joining the Dell Show 2.0. How you like the new format, guys? I
I
love
love
it.
this. I
Thank
love
you
this.
so much for joining me. I am here with my guest today, Lisa Durden, who is a social justice journalist, most outspoken, most beautiful, most kind-hearted person.
Yes.
And please make sure you follow her. We only got a couple minutes left. I'm gonna say
Okay.
my final thought. I'm gonna give you a minute to say your final thought, and then I've got to end it because I got to be on this other line.
Okay.
But the thing about it too is, okay, children. Let's take children out of the picture.
Yeah.
McDonald's advertising is that same marketing team has studied how to
Mm-hmm.
program you to desire it. It
Mm-hmm.
studied how that some people are going to McDonald's and they be like, I just got the fish sandwich because that's the most healthy. No, all of it's garbage. So, but they have
Mm-hmm.
done it. They have specifically done it. They even use their bad press. I
Mm-hmm.
remember I met
I
with
understand.
McDonald's and they use their bad press. And that is how history is. You're printing lies because it's a form of advertising. It's a form of the subservient. So that's where I'm like super torn on,
The
the
only
narrative
lie,
being
the
controlled.
lies that are being printed is what Donald Trump is doing, not what's in the Smithsonian. He's a
Mm,
liar. He's a liar. In his first administration, they documented he told 10,000 lies within his first administration. This man lies when his mouth is moving. He's
mm,
the liar, not the
mm,
Smithsonian.
mm.
That's it.
Guys, I just want to thank you so much. Lisa, let everyone know what you got going on and
Oh,
where they
I see
can
you.
find
Hey,
and
AB.
follow
Hey,
you.
King. Hey, AB. Hey, 911. Hey, Evander. I'm trying to get all. Hey, Jamal. Who else? I'm trying to. Hey, Calvin.
LaShawn,
Hey,
cousin,
Rodney. Hey, Jesus.
self-preservationist,
Hey, Jesus. Hey, Stacy. That's it. Rodney. Okay, Jerome. Jerome in the house. Jerome in
Evander
the
de
house.
la Rosa.
So,
Thank you
right.
so much.
So if you want to, Calvin, if you want to follow me, I'm on LinkedIn, Lisa Durden, and then the other one's Lisa R. Durden, LISARDURDEN. And you can see kind of what I'm up to. I'm also a filmmaker. I put all my stuff on there. You'll get to check it out and blah, blah, blah. And girl, thank you so much for inviting me here. I had a good time. We got to
Yes,
spar again. We got to spar again.
yes, we got.
But I understand. No, but I understand what you're saying. It's like I said, it's a thin line. I
It's
understand what
such a
you're saying.
thin line, Lisa,
Yeah,
and that's why
yeah.
when you were coming on, like I try to stay away from these issues, but I was like, I got to get
No, we
Lisa's take.
gotta you gotta
We got
dive
to
straight because
discuss
it's
it. We got to discuss it.
yeah, I agree.
Um,
Yeah.
yes, thank you so much, Lisa, and I'll be tagging you in the clips.
Thank you, boo.
Bye. See you guys later. Bye, guys. Thank
Bye
you guys
bye.
so much. Make sure you subscribe if you're looking at this on playback. If you're looking at this right now, I appreciate you so much for coming and
Thank
joining me. We do
you.
this each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern on The Show. Bye, y'all.
Bye. She's funny as heck. Bye.
Bye.